Hello, it's me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. So let's talk about the Pisces new moon. It is going to come February 19th at 11:06 p.m. PT time, okay, Pacific Standard Time. This astrological event marks a time for emotional healing and spiritual renewal. It's a powerful time for manifesting your dreams, intentions, and explore your emotional depths. Like, really get into it. I'm a Scorpio moon, so of course I love that energy. This is a time to really look into your personal relationships and figure out any unresolved issues. So let's talk about transits and moon energy as a whole. Okay, first of all, the moon constantly, it moves fast. So whenever we say like the moon is in Pisces, it's very fast energy. It moves fast. And even when you're doing a natal chart, if you don't have the time of the person, you have to look at that whole day because the moon can change within a day. Okay, but it's very powerful energy as well. So transits of the moon through the houses last up to like a couple of days, if that. But the energy lasts a couple of days, but then there's exceptions when it comes to a full moon and a new moon, especially when we're talking about your natal chart, okay? And the influences, that energy that you feel could last up to like 4 weeks. So that's why the new moon and a full moon is more important than a waxing or gibbous moon. That's why it's more mentioned. And the effect of eclipse too. Oh my gosh. That could be felt up to like several months. Those energies are stronger than just the casual transits of the moon. But by itself, the transit of the moon is felt mostly as changes of moods. And because the moon represents our mood and our emotions, and it also affects like our encounters with others. Often you may not even be cautious of the effects of the moon and its transits. It may occur unconsciously more than conscious. And you may not even see visually may not see the changes that's happening with the moon, but then others can see the changes that are happening with you with the moon. Traditionally, the moon represents female energy, feminine energy. It signifies a woman and mother. So then when you're dealing with transits in the moon, and transits is basically like the moon moving, right? And moving in different houses. That's when I'm saying transits, that's what I mean. And so the transits of the moon can indicate various kinds of encounters with women, because also encounters with your mom, because it represents feminine energy, and the sun represents masculine energy, just so you know. The real purpose of these encounters, especially if you are a male, okay, experiencing these encounters, is to make you experience your unconscious attitude towards yourself, okay? Because remember, it's internal energy and things that you try to hide, because the moon is all about hidden and dark, but then the sun makes the moon bright. So it brings the darkness to light, right? So during moon transits, there are some things dealing with female energy that you're encountering that you're trying to hide. Oh, and then also too, when you're talking about female energy, it's always interchangeable. It's not very straightforward and sticks to the same way of doing things. It's unpredictable, hence why the moon is ruled by femininity. You know, daily transits of the moon are not as important as your natal chart. You should look at really where the moon is placed in your natal chart, because that is a strong aspect and characteristic of yourself. So really, this is important, yes, and this means a lot. But, if you don't really understand your natal chart and the moon placement, I ask you to further look into that. And, I do astrology reading, so you can hit me up in the link. I can do that for you. Also, it deals with the past. So not only are you dealing with unconscious behaviors, it also represents the past. It holds memory, and it kind of doesn't let go. And remember, the moon is the ruler of Cancer, and Cancers are all about their past and great memories and not letting go. So the moon embodies that energy as well. Wherever the moon is in your chart on that particular day, look to the area of your life ruled by that part to find where you are emotionally tuned. So for example, okay, if your moon is in the first house, look at the area that is ruled by that part of the house. So if your first house is Taurus, that means it's ruled by Venus. And where is Venus in your chart? Look at where Venus is in your chart, and that is going to have some emotion, some strong emotion involving that energy. So let's talk about some new moon rituals, okay? I love this. This is Pisces moon. This is any new moon. These are the rituals you can do. 1, meditate. Meditate on the energy of the new moon and what you want to manifest. 2, write down your intentions for the month. I love that, okay? You can light a white candle. Set your intentions while, peacefully looking at the flame and while focusing on the flame. You can take a salt bath to cleanse, because remember, the new moon is also about releasing. So cleanse and clearing out that negative energy. Express gratitude for what you have and for what you are manifesting, because the new moon is also about gratefulness and being and expressing gratitude. So spend time outdoors with nature during the new moon. Spend time with friends and family, which is amazing, and share your intentions with each other. That can be a ritual every time there's new moon. Also, lastly, you can create an altar with items that represent your intentions and spend time with it each day. And you can do that. And then too, reevaluate that during the full moon. I want to say, whenever there is a new moon, the moon is conjuncting the sun. It is always conjuncting the sun when there is a new moon. And conjunct means that they are 2 separate points in the solar system that unite and blend their energies together. They're in the same sign. In layman's terms. Okay, so they both are in Pisces and they're conjunct. Anytime you hear a new moon, know that they are conjunct. So that makes it easier on Astrologer, because you can see, oh wow, they're conjunct, that you were born in a new moon, and then when they're opposing, you're like, oh, you were born in a full moon. So just so you know, but whenever the moon is conjunct the sun, this is the energy that you're going to get. And this is not just because we're dealing with a Pisces moon, new moon. This is just the energy of all conjunct sun moon, okay? Which really means new moon. But I'm just going to tell you what the aspect means. So it's a time when your mind and your body are recharged for the month ahead. Your feelings at this time may be very strongly influenced by the larger emotional patterns that dominate your life. So you're going to be very emotionally charged. It also gives you a burst of energy physically with your life, and emotionally it works together. It's very harmonious, because the sun conjunct the moon is very harmonious energy, because they're working together. The split between mind and feelings that often plagues you are not noticeable now, because they are in unison. They're working together. Even the opposite sex is working together, and everyone's getting along. The moon represents feminine energy and the sun represents masculine energy, and now they're working together. Female and male energy are in harmony. This is a harmonious time during which you learn that you are loved and supported. The universe has your back during this time, okay? If you've been feeling upbeat lately, then you're going to be even more positive, and you're going to even be more rewarded as well, okay? So anything dealing with a group is also very positive with this energy. So like if you have a speaking engagement, if you're going to a conference, anything dealing with a group, you want to do it during the new moon, because it's all very positive. If you have been feeling somewhat stressed, then realize that help is nearby, okay? You simply need to reach out and ask the universe and find out what you want, and find out the answers to your prayers, because the new moon is going to give it to you. You are not feeling very good emotionally because of a longer range transit, because there's some other transits that you're dealing with. If this is a case, take some time off and allow your energy to build up slowly, okay? Because then if it doesn't, it's going to affect your whole month. So take your time reflect, meditate, do the rituals that I said, and just understand where you are. That's why it's so important to understand astrology, because it's almost like you know the weather. You know it's going to snow in. You know it's going to snow outside, so just be prepared for that energy and be aware. And when you're aware, when you are aware, when you have awareness, okay, you have the ability to prevent things. Lastly, just trust your intuition, whether you're dealing with good stuff or bad stuff. But as a whole, everyone will have positive energy, so trust your intuition. So the new moon in Pisces is in the first decadent, and so is the sun is in the first decadent, and that card represents the Six of Cups. Now, I love tarot, so of course we are going to combine it. And the card is often interpreted as a symbolism of nostalgia, joy, innocence. It can also represent a period of looking back, which is very interesting because that is what the moon also represents. So looking back at your memories and a time to reflect on your past. This card also can represent healing and renewal, and it encourages us to move on from our past. So you want to heal from your past, you want to be renewed from your past and embrace the present, because now we are dealing with harmony energy. We want to balance that out. We can take time to open up our hearts and treat ourselves with kindness and compassion. That's what this card is trying to tell you, and that is the overall energy with the tarot. So let's talk about different transits that are happening with this new moon. We have the Venus is going to enter Aries, and then while Venus is entering Aries that day, then you have Venus sextile Pluto. So let me explain. First of all, Aries energy is very fast. It likes to be first. It's a leader. And then Venus is all about love and aesthetics and beauty. So then when you have those two together, that energy, what does it look like? It looks like someone who wants to be like in love quickly. Usually if you have a Venus in so it's someone who loves it. You love new energy. You love new love. It's very impulsive when it comes to love. It's very courageous. It's very bold when it comes to love. And we are going to have that energy the same time as the new moon in Pisces. So too, Venus is conjunct the sun. So, and Venus is all about love. So during that time, it's all about affection, love, and romance is in the air. So it's like continuating the February 15th, which is Valentine's Day, the day before. All that energy is going to be there. So then there is one little blip, one little bump transit that we have. And I feel like, the overall energy is very positive. Also, too, let me just say that Venus sextile Pluto, what does that look like? You might meet someone who's going to change your life forever. They're going to have a strong impact in your life. They're going to be deeper than the average person. It's going to be someone who also has a huge impact to cause something deeper in your life and causes you to do some type of transformation. And that could be a friend or a loved one. So you have that energy. I think that energy is very positive because I'm a Scorpio moon. So I love a transformation, especially when a transformation is positive and going towards the light, okay? Because Pluto is all about the underground, and then at the end of the tunnel is a bright light. Okay? The bump in the road is this, that Mars is squaring the sun and the moon, okay? And the transit is associated, Mars is associated with action, assertiveness. You can't help but to take action, inspire action towards your goals with this energy. So that's the only little blip I have. You may be a little irritated. Need to take note of your feelings and let it go. Okay? Avoid overreacting and having rash behavior. You are not quite yourself, so you may not realize it with that Mars squaring the sun and the moon, but be patient and all will be revealed. Cool down with that energy, okay? If that energy arises, it may, but it can lead to some conflict and some disagreements with others if you are not mindful of your feelings. So now that you are aware of this energy, that means you are mindful, okay? So be aware and try to prevent things and take time to be creative. Take time to be intuitive. Do the rituals that I just mentioned earlier. This is about focusing more on a spiritual awakening. And if you acknowledge that work, then you can only go positive, emotionally positive. Okay, so look this way without looking that way. Okay, some other transits that I'm going to quickly mention, and I have them written down here. The moon is sextile Uranus. It's the ideal time to be flexible and remain open for new ideas. It's also conjunct Neptune. So the feel-good time. Art, nature, beauty, dreams, and spiritual realms. It's all positive. Then we have it sextile the North Node, and it's sensitive and it can indicate something significant that's going to occur. And the same with the South Node. Okay, so that's the energy for the collective, and it's very positive overall. I don't see much of a negative energy, and especially if you are aware of what you need to do to stay focused and to stay positive and be emotionally stable. I have a newsletter that goes out. It is so detailed. You want to know more information, check it out. You are going to be able to have special access to all the information that I'm telling you. It even gets more detailed, okay? I try not to be as detailed, but I want to share the knowledge and I want you to know. So sign up in the link in the bio. It is free, my newsletter, okay? So yes, also if you want a reading for the new moon, that is also great to have. And I do one-on-one readings. I also offer free readings, so you can join that raffle and click the link in the bio. Now let's talk about the different horoscopes. And not only am I going to do the horoscopes, but I'm also going to do the astrology. And I already set the card for the first decadent with 6 of Cups. So now let's do Aries. Aries, I'm looking down here because I have my notes. Okay, so Aries, your moon is in the 12th house. This is a time to retreat, take time out to rest and reflect, meditate, and be with nature. The 12th house is all about hidden secrets, and so you may be wanting to be very secretive, especially, and you might be insecure with your inner self. Your emotional life is somewhat of a secret during this time. So be aware of this energy. Let's see what the card have to say. We have the Hangman. So this is all about pausing. Is the hang? Yes. This is all about pausing, taking time to look at things in a different perspective, and just pausing and meditate. Chill, okay? Don't overreact. This energy will slowly be done. Okay. During this time, relationships with women may be difficult for you as well. Aries placements may be hard with the opposite sex, and maybe even just female energy. Probably don't even feel like socializing. That may happen. So it's a good time to be alone and reflect. Okay, and reflect. That's basically what this card is saying. So next we have Taurus placements. And again, hopefully you're looking at your Taurus sun, moon, and rising. I look at my rising, and my mom is her sun sign is my rising, and it really still shocks me that this predictions work for her, and in me it's just like no. So sometimes I'm lazy and I just look at my rising, but I do advise you to look at all three. Okay, so Taurus, you're in the 11th house. It's time for friends and social activity, and also about hobbies and your pastimes. So it can indicate a time when emotional contact with friends is very important to you. If you and your friends have something very personal to say, something that touches each other in a deeper emotional level, this is a good time to express it. Friendships will probably feel more protective and supportive than usual with this energy. Childish as it may seem, you may become jealous when your friends pay more attention to someone else. So there's that energy as well. So let's see what we have. And then you have the 2 of Pentacles, and with the 2 of Pentacles is juggling. So social activities, hobbies, but you're able to do it. You're able to juggle it all during this time, so it's very positive. There is some water splashing in the background, so there is some type of emotion there. However, you are balancing it and you can work it out and you will be fine. But this is someone who is juggling priorities, and they can do it. They can multitask two things. And I would think that this is dealing with your friends and social activities and your hobbies. You're able to deal with it all. So yeah, it's very positive for you, Taurus placement. So yes. Next, we have Gemini placements, my Gemini sun, moon, and rising. Your moon is in the 10th house, your new moon. And this can be a time for a career. And you also may enjoy more of a public life. So it's all about business and being professional. It's more of the focus with this. That most intimate and personal life is a public display more than usual with this energy. And you may find it difficult to hide certain facts about yourself. And then you have that Pisces energy, which is, you know, very spiritual and elusive. So you have that energy as well. Obviously, you are best off if you have nothing to hide. Okay, Geminis? Even if you usually have reservations about emotional display in public, you are likely to indulge in the behavior of displaying it now, okay? It's also great energy for your career, but you may be more emotionally sensitive, have empathy towards people who you work with. Perhaps you want to help someone whom you know through your job and make the relationship something more than professional. Remember, we have that Venus entering Aries too. So there's that. Or anything dealing with public relations, works, and sales. So if that's you, Gemini, then this is great for you. So let me see what we have for your reading. We have the Tower in reverse. Makes me say that there isn't any chaos. The chaos is not happening. The structure is dependable. And I'm thinking that work will be fine. So work will be fine. Whatever it is that you're doing, the structure is going to be okay. This also can represent inner chaos. So it either is inner chaos or the chaos has ended. The chaos has stopped. So it's all about your awareness of how you are. So are you going to have the inappropriate boundaries or are you not? You might have a public outburst of good emotions. So it might be very not just emotional in a negative light, but just, you know, emotions are varied, you know. It's not just negative. Okay, so now we have our Cancer placement. So our Cancer sun, moon, and rising. And your new moon is in the 9th house. It's a time for expanding your mind, undertaking anything that broadens your horizons. You may feel the urge to get away from your daily routines and go off because it's very like impulsive energy, this house. And it likes freedom and it likes expansion. Maybe not entirely conscious of the reasons of why you want to get out. You're like, what's going on? Why am I driven to get out? It's a move of restlessness that is hard to pin down. Some contradictions with this energy of this transit because the moon naturally is once familiar and comfortable and habitual energy, right? So it wants to be comfortable and wants to be at home. But the 9th house is the opposite of that. It's like, let me get out. Let me be about. And so this transit is very, although not very severe, it's difficult to smooth out. Travel may be beneficial as long as you break from your routine. It isn't too radical. You are not really interested in getting totally away from it all. You are just bored with your everyday life. So it's very interesting. It's like you want to get out, but not too far because you're dealing with your moon, right? Cancers. Ooh, Cancers. We have movement. This is expansion. This is also could represent travel. So expansion, moving forward, moving. There's progress with you. So Leo, your moon is in the 8th house. It's a time for resources. Invest time and money with other people wisely, okay? Emotionally experiences are much more intense than usual during this time. You experience moods and feelings that are quite different from your normal self with this 8th house energy. You may ask if this is really you. It seems so different. Your moon in the 8th house, you're just not going to feel like your normal self. You're going to be more emotional because this is also the house of Pluto and Scorpio energy basically is with this house. So just invest your time and money in other people wisely. That is the key. I'm going to pull a card for you guys, Leos. We have the Knight of Swords. So just be very intelligent. Use your intellect, okay? Use clarity. That's what this energy is. This also is about communicating and being very clear with your communication. This energy also moves fast, okay? So you can move fast, but let's have clarity. Let's have clear communication as well. So then next we have Virgo, and your moon is in the 7th house. And this is all about marriage and treaties and contracts and relationships. So you could spend time with your spouse or a business partner as well. It's mostly, I think, more about personal relationships. And this transit will affect your marriage, relationships with opponents, or any other inherently emotional confrontation. So just be aware. Loved ones and partners are much more important to you than usual at this time, Virgos. Jealousy and possessiveness may be more of a thing, and conflicts with others will be much more emotional because of this. Now, confrontations with women, both positive and negative, are more likely to have, and maybe be more intense those with men, because remember, the moon represents feminine energy. So let me pull a card for you guys. Virgo placements. We have the 5 of Pentacles. There is an energy of feeling lack of, like you don't have enough, there's not abundance, but you do. Change that mind shift, change that mentality, and think more positive. You're thinking negative, and you want to change that and shift it. If it is a negative energy, okay? Think positive. And remember, I discussed the rituals of the new moon as well. So now we have Libras, and Libra sun, moon, and rising. Your moon is in the 6th house, and this is a time about health and well-being, getting organized, out of the old and in with the new. This is a time when you are inclined to put emotional considerations second to the immediate necessities. Emotional repression. On the other hand, this transit can also signify turning your attentions to homecraft and personal hygiene, home care, and general reorganization. Also, pets could be a thing. Also, like concern your health, being more healthy. Now, also, too, because it's in this house, I think that you're probably going to be more critical on yourself internally. So pay attention to that energy. Emotional repression could be a big thing. So let's see what we have with this. Also, I go into more detail in my newsletter. So if you want more information on that, it's there. So we have the Queen of Cups. So this is someone who is either practicing self-love or codependent. Okay, so work on that. You don't want to be codependent with this energy. You want to practice self-love as well. I see self-love though, because this house is just very positive and taking care of things. So focus more on the self-love and not the codependency energy. Okay, so that is for you guys. Now we're on Scorpio. Scorpio, your new moon is in the 5th house. During this brief period of time, you want to enjoy life to the fullest. Okay, Scorpio, this is a time for playfulness and fun, childlike behavior, enjoying a new romance, spend some fun moments with your children, do a creative project. There is could be a new phase of life that you could be birthing something. At this time, it's very difficult to conceal your feelings from others, okay? And Scorpio energies do not like that. But don't try to be secretive. Let it out, okay? Especially during a new moon. You need to be yourself and you need to really free yourself, Scorpios, okay? So take this energy. In love relationships, you will be experiencing a greater, more emotional depth than usual, okay? The only danger to watch out for here is that you may be too possessive, Scorpios, of another person. Also, because you're in the house of Leo, you're in the house of the sun. Also, you may be so wrapped up in your own feelings that you're unaware of others' feelings, because you're all about having fun and who cares. So be aware of that energy. Relationships with women are generally going to improve with this. So regardless of your sex, just your relationship with women, because moon represents women. Okay, so it's very positive. The moon can be overprotective as well too with this energy. So let's see what we have for my Scorpio placements. Ooh, we have the Queen of Swords, and this is all about logic and intelligence, also communication, and being a boss when it comes to that energy. So there is clear communication, there is clear logic, and it seems very positive for you guys, Scorpio placement. So go with that, have fun, and it seems like you're going to probably be very communicative with your feelings. Okay, Scorpios, you don't like that, but get ready for that. Okay, next we have Sagittarius. Sagittarius placements, your moon is in the 4th house. This is a time for home and family and focusing on your home comforts, maybe tidying up your house a little bit, dusting, moving furniture. Just relax at home. Okay? It's about being in a private place. You seek and need comfort from the demands of the outside world, and having pleasant, relaxing time at home is going to be the best for you. Also, it's a good time to go inside yourself and look at your attitude and your feelings and your emotions and your orientations toward the world around you. One thing that may become really obvious to you at this time is that how habits of past is conditioned to controlling your life now. So you're going to be looking at your past and realizing emotionally what is working, what's not working. You will probably feel a little more emotional and more possessive than normal, which is very hard for Sagittarius. And it could be more with intimate relationships. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Ooh, we have the High Priestess, and it's all about using your intuition and wisdom at the same time. Okay, so be very intuitive and go off of your intuition. It's also very Pisces energy as well. Neptune, I see. So go ahead and use your intuition. Go ahead and focus on your dreams at home. Okay, and spirituality. So next we have Capricorn. Capricorn placements, your moon is in the 3rd house. It's about communication, negotiations, and contracts. Listen and learn. That is the energy of that house. During this period, your communication with others are likely to be very subjective. Communications is going to be important. Feelings and emotions during this time, Capricorn placement. So if you can keep a cautious control of your emotions and be mindful of your communication at the same time. Be aware of your habits, your past experiences, and your reactions, because the 3rd house represents everyday life. And you may be thinking like you're just reacting to everyday life, but just be more aware of that. Okay, Capricorns? Here we go. Let me pull a card for you. We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So this is all about someone who is basking in luxury. And now it's not the time to be selfish and like, oh, I'm going to adore, I'm going to, and also this is the energy of someone who is self-made. Okay. So you might feel off balance with your goals. Work on that. And remember, I have the rituals of the new moon. You can practice that and release some negative energy. Also, this card can represent self-made and luxury, and like really enjoying the luxuries of life, and maybe calm down and release some baggage that you may think is luxury, but it's not luxury. Okay, we have Aquarius next, and Aquarius new moon is your new moon is in the 2nd house. This is about financial matters for you, and you may purchase or require some comfort, some possessions that are like comfortable or that make you feel at ease. It's also a time when you emotionally identify with your possessions and whatever you value. This could lead to a very strong attachment to material objects, okay, and general attitude to possessiveness. Work on being materialistic during this time. You may be unconsciously identifying with your own value system. You might be aware of like what your spending habits are and what you're doing too much. Traditionally, this transit is considered to be a bad time for spending money, okay? The reason for this is because the attitude towards possessions are so conditioned by unconscious drive. So you're just be aware of what you're spending. Be aware of this addiction to materialism. Okay, let's see what we have. We have the Three of Pentacles. It's all about learning and collaborating with others. So maybe focus on learning and collaborating and working with others. See what others have to bring to the table, and listen to what they're telling you. Maybe your friends or maybe your peers are telling you something. And the Pentacles is representing money and representing materialism and representing physical things out in the world. So that card still resonates. At the same time, it wants you to collaborate with others and work with others and listen to others. Okay, and learn from others. Lastly, we have the Pisces. Your Pisces placements. Your new moon is in the first house. And again, I said it moves fast, so it's not going to stay in this first house. But you can focus now on your health and happiness and your emotional well-being. Physical checkups might be happening now and starting a new physical activity. This is going to be triggering an impulse to let go of bad habits and adopting new healthy habits. It's very positive. First of all, you feel a great need to belong and relate to your friends and loved ones. This is an unconscious sign of relating to a group. So it's very positive. Emotionally, you want to be with people and you want the sympathy of others and a warmth and an understanding of others. Obviously, there are two sides to this. On one hand, you can be very emotional, giving to those around you. But on the other hand, you can be emotionally demanding. So let's balance that energy. Pisces placements. Let me pull a card for you. Oh, we have the Fool. So there's a new journey. So there, and this is also the first house too. So there's a new journey, and I'm hoping the new journey is a physical one and it's on a positive light, because like I said, this also can change some negative, unhealthy habits, and you can start adopting new habits. So this is what I see coming for you guys. So that is it for the collective and for the individuals. You guys, I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to subscribe and to like this video. Also hit that bell, because I do other videos and other tarot readings that you can get in the future, and you can look on the past videos. Okay, see you guys next time. Bye.